Hey traders, Dennis Weber on the AutoPilot Trader. What a fantastic finish to the market this week as we close near the highs this Friday, July 15th. Welcome to Trade Your Way to Wealth and Financial Freedom. We've got 3 great stocks to look at, plus some great tips about navigating through just a crazy market where stock picking is so important. Remember, the inflation is hot and the fear of recession is real. Is this market going to continue to climb a wall of worry and just launch itself through the second half of this year? We'll start answering that question in today's video right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilburn, the active trend trader and the AutoPilot Trader. I want to welcome you to today's session of Trade Your Way to Wealth and Financial Freedom. If you just join us, we want to say welcome aboard. If you've joined us over on the YouTube channel, thank you for joining us over there. Please let us know who's watching over on YouTube. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Thank you very much, sir. We're going to be covering some great potential stocks this week. Steve and Anil and I were chatting when we were getting going about how this market has been a very tiresome market. It is just, and I think that is something that repeats itself on a regular basis when you are into what's going to potentially be I won't say a long-term bear, but at least I think we're heading where we could be in a bear for about a year and a half or so. It's shaping up a lot like 2007, 2008, and because the market is having a really tough time gaining traction. But at the same time, I say that there are excellent opportunities to trade that are providing some really, really good profits for those who are patient. So patience is a very important thing. Stephen and Neil, how are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Yeah,
okay.
All right.
Getting tired, though. Getting tired.
And that money, is that trading funds and capital burning a hole in your pocket?
Not a big hole. I'm down a little bit the last 4 months, but nice.
Burning a hole from the aspect of you want to get in and get,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So okay. Hey, I put this chart up here. I have a really quick question for everybody. This is basically the cycle of a bull to bear to bear to bull type market. Currently, we are primarily in a bear market on at least 3 of the indexes. But in the chat box, if you will, please place in the chat box. And if you're watching over on the YouTube channel, Jeff, let us know what you think. Is where on this chart do you think we are? So Steve and Neil, where do you think we are?
We may be bottoming. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think we're right at the right edge myself.
So you think we're right here or right here?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to, you can feel free to unmute yourself and just yell it out what you're thinking.
Triple screen buy signal on QQQ on the daily chart.
Okay.
So,
that's very interesting. You know where I think we are?
No, tell us.
Maybe about right there. I think there's or we actually may be there also, where we're going to get a nice little run back up high. But this downtrend's pretty significant. If this was the beginning of the year where we started falling and we're halfway through the year and we may get a return up, it wouldn't surprise me that I wouldn't be surprised that we get a very strong finish of the year. I'm not trying to over-anticipate it, but again, like we say, when Steve mentioned the other day, if you had 10 technical analysts in the room, basically looking at a particular chart, you'd get 14 different answers to the questions of where we're at. Is that right, Steve?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so
opinions are easy. That's the challenge.
That's right. And so one of the things that with all types of markets to bear in mind is that you'll know what the true story is once the story has been written. So you have to learn how to trade the chart that's in front of you. Hey, just a real quick reminder that all the materials we do present are for trading purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. I am going to be asking you today, so if you have a stock you want us to be taking a look at, we'll take a look at 3 stocks. So get those into the chat box and make that where everybody can see it, so that we can take a look at 3 individual stocks. And the rules are, let us know if you're already in the stock, and if you are already in the stock, what price did you get in? Here's where we're sitting. Here's where I'm sitting, basically with the active trend trading. The first couple of weeks in July, it's been just kind of, more or less just staying pretty flat to where we were. There's where we were last week. Here's where here's where I am this week. The indexes are still, selling off to some extent, and so we're still beating the S&P. Very pleased with that. And then also remember that basically sit tight, or learn how to sit tight, like Jesse Livermore said. And speaking of that, here's what he said. After spending many years in Wall Street and after making and losing millions of dollars, I want to tell you this. It never was my thinking that made me made big money for me. So, matter of fact, what is that saying? Steve just referred to it. Our opinions really don't mean anything. It's basically what the charts are doing and what the market is doing. It always was my sitting, got that? My sitting tight that made him money. So with that said, let's jump in and take a real quick look at some of the stocks we're looking at for this week. And I am going to jump over here. And which one of you guys want to go first with your pick?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You can tell us and we'll go.
Okay. Whoever picked Dollar Tree.
All righty, let's go for it.
Okay.
Dollar Tree is looking very good on the charts. Strong accumulation distribution and accelerating sales. And so I picked Dollar Tree.
Okay. Where are you going to get in, Neil?
I think about right here. I haven't bought it yet. I might buy it later on today.
Okay. This is a daily chart on the left, weekly chart on the right. And it does have a really interesting formation here. And so, yeah, I would kind of call that inverted head and shoulders with an exaggerated head. So Dollar Tree, take it here with a stop 5%.
Yes, about 4 to 5%, correct.
Okay. And it's always important to know where your 5% stop is, guys. And so if Anil was to enter this trade right here, 5% there's 6, or there's 3. It would be, there's 3.5. Basically, he could almost let this go to the 50-day moving average or below and basically be able to get out with only a 5% stop loss. So that's one. And then Steve has Pfizer. You've been carrying this tune here, Steve, for several weeks here.
Sector. Yeah.
Yeah, Pfizer, Lilly, Merck.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's a defensive kind of a play. I think it's an area that is it's in an uptrend, but it's maybe faltering at this point. But I think it's at least holding. I kind of think of it as a defensive play.
Okay.
And I like the trade right now. Today, I entered this morning right above yesterday's high. It's pretty much still the same trade available to you now, and my stop would be under today's low. And I'd be up to break even as quickly as we get above the downtrend line. I get to break even.
Okay,
I like it, and so I just rearranged.
I like it too. It has a triple screen active signal. Triple screen daily is active since last several days.
I like it, and it's right at support. I mean, that's right. Absolutely awesome. You entered about today. So so even if you took a stop below today's low, you're only at risk 2.5%, 5.5%.
I like those kind of trades, very low risk trades.
I like it. And so
you know quickly if you're wrong.
And so, okay, let's jump over and look at what is going on with the indexes. Good picks. And the thing about Pfizer, Pfizer is somewhere. Pfizer, Merck, Lilly, they're all kind of in the same puka. And the thing that is really awesome about them is they're kind of slow grinders. They grind, and if they got them in a nice little upward trajectory, that you can make some money with it, but you have to be patient. You have to be patient with it. And I'll come back to my pick here shortly. Let's take a look at start with the spiders. What do I like about this chart? Quite a few things. We came down, we retested, as you can see here. On the S&P, we came down, we retested these last lows that we had over here. So that was a level of support, which also was a level of support over here, which was also a level of support. So a tested and tried level of support on Thursday. And so it did not blow on through to head back down to these levels. Now we're breaking back up. A nice little gap in what I call a gap. And well, we'll see if it's a go. But it's a gap up. And at the same time, the same thing is plaguing the indexes that so far have plagued them for several weeks. It will immediately run into a level of resistance. Now, we've been building up momentum, and we've had a breakup of this flag. Will the momentum blast us through that resistance levels? We'll see. We don't, right now we do not know. But if we take out these past highs up at about, in this particular case, take out the past high at 393.16, which is going to correspond, it would be above the downtrend line and really getting close to the 50-day moving average. That would be positive for the S&P. NASDAQ, very similar. So NASDAQ went on up, and you can't make this stuff up. Here's the downtrend line. I adjusted it to this past high right here. And when this happens, this tells us that other technical analysts are doing the same darn thing and putting in their trend lines and all that kind of stuff. And as you see, we are approaching a level of past resistance, the 34-day moving average. The thing that's very interesting about this, though, is last Friday, the Qs actually intraday made a higher high. So we're working off of a higher low, higher high, another higher low. So in the interim, we've got something moving on up significantly. Get above that 50-day moving average, we could be off to the races for at least a move back up into, the 314 level. That's what we're looking at. So, hey, if you're watching us over on YouTube, I see Jeff's over there. Just let us know if you're over there, and also if you have a stock you'd like us to take a look at. I appreciate that. And so last but not least, the Russell. I still think the Russell has some really significant, potential moves to the upside. And the other thing that's happening with every one of these, I'm going to go ahead and remove that trend line that was broken, but now the momentum is shifting back up to the upside. The 12th, which was Tuesday of this week, we had a two-line cluster on the market forecast. And what's the rule on two-line and three-line clusters? Within a 1 to 4 trading period time frame, we would expect a reversal and a move up. In this case, this is a daily chart, so between 1 and 4 days. And sure enough, 1, 2, 3. But actually, we had a reversal after the second day. And as advertised, it pushed to a lower low. But as it pushed to the lower low, look what's going on here. I've got some positive divergence on my market forecast, the TSI. The other thing I want to keep a look out for is I can draw in that trend line. If TSI breaks above that, that would be very positive, showing us that we are moving on. Likelihood of moving higher is well underway. Look for it to run into its past resistance. Again, this clog, look at it like a clogged sink. If this clog is broken and eliminated, watch for us to rush up from there and get into a really great rally. Now, how far will the rally go? We don't know at this time. It may go up here to the 200-day moving average, the 100-day moving average, but it's got to get past that clog before we can achieve the next level of resistance up. So just think of that as being the ceiling. Steve and Neil, what do you think?
I like it. But we just have to see what the market will do. Are we going to take out the most recent high or not? Is the real issue.
Yep. Right there, that one there. And so, yeah, so we're working on, and again, it's almost like it's, I can draw
it's
in.
Coiling. It's coiling, it's.
Oh, it is. I mean, this is really a pretty pattern, but which way is it going to break? That's the big question we all have.
Yeah.
That's the big question we all have. And
I got a question on QQQ. If
yes, sir.
QQQ is already up more than 1% today, looks like. And if the volume comes out higher than yesterday, IBD is likely to put back confirmed uptrend.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, I'm basically I'm looking at, there's the cues. Well, do you think they'll put it back in uptrend, even if it doesn't break?
According to the rules, it's up more than 1% today, and if the volume comes out higher than yesterday,
okay,
that's what they'll do.
We'll see. I mean, if they put it back into market and uptrend, or
uptrend resume.
To me personally, and my technical analysis approach is, I think it would be premature to do that, simply because I haven't taken out that swing high right there. Yeah. And I'm still bumping my head up against pretty significant resistance. At the same time, now, would I trade this? I'll trade this because the moving averages are starting to swing up. I look for any kind of a pullback back into the 820 combo. That's a strong level of support, and also would give us a little bit of a runway to break up and through. Now, we're getting a great jackhammer effect where price actions come up, hit the moving average. I mean, this is classic. Hit the moving average, it starts to flatten out. This is 34. The next time it goes up and test it, it goes through the moving average, continues to flatten out. As you can see, even the 50-day moving average is starting to flatten out and changing its trajectory. Now, where over here will it actually turn back up? We don't know.
And also, I'm not sure we'll beat yesterday's volume today, at least in the cubes.
We don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
Excellent. So I've got one stock that we'll take a real quick look at. We are looking forward with great anticipation for something. I don't want to speak for all three of us, but I'm very positive that we're going to get into a rally, and the rally may last through the end of the year. But I think it's going to be kind of what I'll call a zigzag rally, where you're going to go run up, pull back, run up, pull back. And what's really awesome about that is those are the kind of rallies you can really make some good money in. Steve and Neil, comments?
I just don't know what the future is. I'm going to let the market show me. I'm generally a bull. I lean bullish, but it's sure not playing that narrative out. Not yet.
Yeah, I gotcha. But like I said, what I'm looking at is I'm basically looking for this. Up, not that. Let me get a smaller pencil here. Up, pull back, break. And if we get in, like I said, we'll know when we get into it. But if we get into that kind of pattern, then we can, if it's identifiable and nice and controlled, that gives us an opportunity to make some good money, I think.
Yeah, if it breaks that trend line, I think it's looking good. Let's see if it does that.
So, okay, let's, so I've got one person who has put in a ETF for us to take a look at. Anybody else? Jeff or anybody else over on the YouTube channel? Just go ahead and put that in. If this is the first time you've joined us on the YouTube channel, and if you're joining us on the Zoom meeting and haven't gone over to the to the YouTube channel, or please follow the Market Tech Talk YouTube channel. I put in 2 or 3 videos on there every week talking about what's going on with the market. Did one yesterday. We're talking about inflation, the growing inflation, stoking the fears of recession, and what you can do get around that, trade your way around this. I like SMPL. I have liked it for quite some time. I tried to get into it earlier this week, and it ran my stops on me. So I'm getting another reversal candlestick off a level of strong past support. I would look at for this meeting. Here's what I'm anticipating, guys. I'm not anticipating this going into a huge, big, run. However, what I am looking at is the run from the lows here back up to these highs is about a 20%, 17 to 20% gain. And if you can find a stock that is ranging like that and this much, 15, 20%, if you cut out the middle piece of that, the 10 to 12%, you can basically recycle your capital numerous times. So this is the one I'm liking, guys, right now. I'm not going to buy today. I would look probably on Monday, simply because I just don't want to carry it through the weekend. I'd look for a pullback back to about the 35.20 level to put in an order. And for our premium and our AutoPilot combo members at the final hour, we'll be actually doing some live trading and putting in some trades specifically for this. And I got a couple of earnings trades we'll be putting in live trades at that time for our premium members and AutoPilot combo members. So that's my pick, guys. Anil,
Looks pretty good.
What's your triple screen say, Anil?
Triple screen wise, it's not ready yet. There's an active sell signal on it right now.
Okay.
Maybe bottoming. It's right at 1.6 sigma Bollinger Band. So we'll see.
Okay. That's what I'm looking at. So we'll run very quickly through the rest of what we're looking at. I only have one stock that somebody has put in. Anybody else have any stocks? And that is SOXL. Yeah. Now, Nicole, love is a strong word, but I really like trading SOXL because it basically moves very succinctly. And as you can see, we are breaking back up. It is clearing above the 20-day moving average as we speak. It had earlier this week had a 3-line cluster on this day here, put in a little bit lower low than a bullish engulfing, and is on its way. I would look, I wouldn't necessarily buy it here at this breakout because I'm not a breakout buyer, but I would look to see what it does between the 20 and the 8-day, and the 8-day will be up at 1359 on Monday. 20-day is out there at the 1447. That's where I'd be looking at potentially, placing an order and then a 5% stop on top of that. So are you in this trade? Are you in this at all? So that's what I'm looking at for that. Okay.
I think it's a little early to get back into tech yet. We just made lower lows. It certainly has a nice move the last 10 days or so.
Yeah.
Like 10 days. But I wouldn't be surprised we roll over at this level also.
Yeah,
it's really going to depend on what the NASDAQ.
I concur with that. But I could see this, since we're breaking above the 20, that improves the probability of at least getting to the 34 or even this downtrend line.
Sure.
And that is a 20% gain, 18 to 20% gain. So, and if you're already in it from yesterday, depending on where you got in it yesterday, you could be, let's say you got in at the approximately where the 8-day was yesterday, where the 8-day was yesterday up to today, you're already up 15+%. So I would be, if you're up 15% on your trade, I would look at taking some profit off the table. Well, that covers it for today, guys. Let's go ahead and just finish things up. So here's a tech tip for you. You have a routine. Use the 3-step setup routine for higher probability trade entries. And what is that inclusive of? Well, one, you want to be considerate of price. Price is always king. What's the trend telling you? Where's its support? Where's the bullish reversal candlestick? That's what I'm looking for. Has my momentum. I use TSI, but you may use MACD, or some of you may use stochastic. Is it oversold or at bullish support? And then conditional order trigger, confirm candlestick reversal, and for me, a close above the 8-day moving average. So be patient and wait for your high probability setup, and we'll call that a day. You opt into our mailing list. Hey, you can take advantage of the trader tools. There'll be a link in the on the YouTube channel for how to do that. And so, guys, I think we covered a lot of good stuff. So, Steve and Neil, any last and finals?
No, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens. Okay. Well, folks, be patient, persistence, and to basically demonstrate consistency. Very prophetic about what's going on this year. Aloha, trade well, prosper, and have an excellent weekend. So as we like to say here in the islands, mahalo and God bless.
Bye now.
Bye, guys.
Have a good
Aloha.
weekend.